Hi, this is Mrs. Parr, and on this episode of Math Up to Par, we're going to talk about elapsed time, and we're going to use a T-chart to find either the start time or the end time when we know the other piece of information and the elapsed time. So let's say we knew that the start time was 8:09, and the time that passed, the elapsed time, was 6 hours and 32 minutes, and we needed to figure out what time that event or whatever it is would end. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a T-chart, like the letter T, okay? And on this side, I'm going to put time, and on this side, I'm going to put hours and minutes, okay? All right, let's click out of that. So over here on the time, I'm going to put 8:09 a.m., okay? I'm going to drop down a line, and because I'm going forward in time, I have a start time and I'm moving forward to my end, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my hours first. So I'm going to add 6 hours, okay? 8 o'clock plus 6 hours, I'd have to cross. I can't just do 8 plus 6 because that would equal 14, and that's military time. So if I'm using our standard clock, we're going to go from 8 to 9 to 10, 11, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So I would end at 2:09 p.m. Now I have to add the minutes that have passed. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 32 minutes. Okay. And what I'm going to do is, because this part of my time is the minutes part, I'm going to add 9 plus 32. So I could do that on the calculator or on paper or mentally. So I get 41. So that would mean my 2 stays the same, and I would have 2:41 p.m. And that's it. I've added my hours, I've added my minutes. So my ending time would be 2:41 p.m. Okay, so that one worked out nicely. They don't all work out that perfectly, and I'll show you one that you have kind of an extra step to in our next problem. But a lot of times they do, so that's the T-chart. So for this problem, let me make my T-chart, do time on this side, and then hours and minutes on this side. All right, my start time is 2:42. And I'm going forward 3 hours. So 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. So I'd end up at 5:42 p.m. Okay, now I have to add 29 minutes. So I'm going to come over here, I'm going to add 42 plus 29. 2 plus 9 is 11, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I get 5:71 p.m. Now you might be saying, I don't think that's a time. And you'd be right, because 5:71 is not how we say it. Because the number in my minute side of my time should be an amount smaller than 60, because there's 60 minutes in an hour. So if there's any more, you have to transfer it over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, or I'm not going to add, I'm sorry. I'm going to take 5:71, and over here I'm going to subtract 60 minutes, but I'm going to add an hour. And when I do that, that's because they are equal to each other, okay? 60 minutes is equal to an hour. So if I take away 60 minutes from my minutes, I can't just let it disappear. I have to put it somewhere. So I'm transferring it over. So 71 minutes minus 60, I get 11, and 5 plus 1 is 6. So that means my time is 6:11 p.m. for my final answer. So if you get an amount that's over 60, you'll have that extra step, okay? Let's try one where we know what time it ends and we need to find what time it starts. So we need to change our thinking for this one, and instead of adding to go forward, because we're ending and trying to figure out what time it started, we are subtracting because we're going backwards with our amount of time. So the time I have over here is 1:38. And so I'm subtracting the 2 hours. So 1 o'clock minus an hour would be 12 o'clock, and then 12 o'clock minus another hour would be 11 o'clock. So I'd have 11:38, and that would have crossed over into AM. So now I need to go backwards 17 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take 38 minutes minus 17, and I get 21 minutes, which means that my start time would be 11:21 a.m. And that is how you find the start time or the end time when you know that other piece. So you either know the start and you don't know the end, or you know the end and you don't know the start, and then you know the elapsed time. So the T-chart works really well for that. If you know the start and the end and you're missing the elapsed time, the Z method actually works really well to find that, and you can watch another one of my videos to see how to do the Z method to solve those types of elapsed problems. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching, and I wish you all the best. Happy practicing.